Good morning and God bless. We have a bunch of info to go over. I'm gonna go over everything. You're gonna want to see this. This is insane because we have new breakthrough boxes. We have new raids, shadow raids. Then I think tomorrow I'm gonna talk about Dynamax raids, which are gonna be insanely good. There's a lot to go over. Let's go over everything. With the first thing from December 3rd to I believe it's January or maybe February 4th. What's gonna be in research? This is really important because there's a lot of good Pokemon you could potentially get. Jangmo is a really good shiny. Furfrou is a pretty decent shiny. Frigibax is a really good ice type, so I highly recommend you going for that. Avalugg can be shiny. That's sick. Pamchan and Alolan Raichu. And Alolan Raichu is your only way to get it is through that. So good luck. Hopefully you do that. As well as one additional free raid pass per day. Extra Stardust from gym battles, I think. So that's pretty cool. Expedition access includes bonus time research and daily incubators. That's sick. Daily incubators for eggs. You're going to want to do them. These eggs are ridiculous. So what's going to go over everything? Of course, we'll go over right now. So we're talking about different Pokemon will appear in the wild. All the seasons change. Different Pokemon will appear in different areas of the world. So in cities, there's going to be Magneton, Porygon, Snubbull, Gulpin, Audino, Clink, and Litwick. Forest will have Butterfree, Scyther, Sunkern, Nuzleaf, Staraptor, Phantom, and Fomantis. Northern Hemisphere is going to have Absol, Chimchar, Turtwig, Piplup, Shinx, Gabite, and Deerling. This is low-key a struggle for me because I have to try and figure out what to say because I sometimes forget the names of the Pokemon. So, hey, leave me to that. Also, if you're wondering why I haven't been able to upload videos as much, I've been really focused on my Twitch, AG7 Matrix Live. I stream like literally 9+ hours a day. So if you want to go check it out, you can. It's just chill. I usually, do Fortnite stuff if you're into that. All right, back to Pokemon Go. Mountains. We're getting Clefairy, Rhyhorn, what is that? It's whatever turtle that is. I forgot. Pupitar, Meditite, Sungfisk, and Mindfu, which can be shiny. Mindfu's a great one. Poliwrath, which can't be shiny, unfortunately. It was in the wild area, but unfortunately not there. This is in beaches and water. Slowpoke, Wooper, Lotad, Pelipper. The evolved version of Weasel's crazy, and Finion. It looks like Finion. I think it is. And then we have the Southern Hemisphere. I'm looking on my monitor, by the way. I usually have my phone I'll look at, but looking at the monitor right now. Southern Hemisphere. Lapras, Gligar, Trico, Mudkip, Torchic, Goomy, and Deerling. Okay, this is my biggest recommendation. If you're in the city, Audino's great. Audino has a Stardust boost. Highly recommend that. However, the Northern Hemisphere doesn't have much. Neither does the Forest Hemisphere. However, the mountains does have Rhyhorn, which is really good. Shiny Mindfu, which is really good. And Pupitar. Pupitar is insanely good. Lapras is Lapras, but it's a boosted shiny. So that's pretty cool in some of the Hemisphere. Now, I want to go over the eggs because the eggs are super, super important. I feel like I need to go over these and you guys need to know about them because, of course, there's going to be the Expedition access, meaning you'll be able to get extra egg incubators through this pass. However, you'll probably have to pay. However, if you do want to spend a couple extra bucks, you can get that. 2 kilometer eggs. We're going to have Psyduck, Swablu, Bonsly, which I've never gotten that shiny, that'd be sick. Larvesta, I don't have that shiny, that'd be sick. And Litleo. Now, you're going to see Larvestas in a lot of these eggs. If you're going to try and hunt for Larvesta, do it in 2 kilometers because it is the easiest thing to try and hatch, obviously, because it's not that much distance. So if you want to go for Larvesta, go for that. 5 kilometers has Clamperl, Blitzel, Inkay, and Larvesta. But, I mean, thinking about it, honestly, obviously, there's one more Pokemon in 2 kilometers. And yes, there's less in the 5 kilometers, so technically you have a better chance of getting a Litwick or a Larvesta. However, 2 kilometers, it's just you can use the infinite incubator and you can hatch 2 kilometers before you hatch a 1, if that makes sense. Hopefully that does. Anyways, 10 kilometers, there's Druddigon, which is a beautiful shiny. There's going to be Larvestas in there, Dreepy, Charjabug, and Frigibax. It's not bad. My biggest grind for 10 kilometers, if I were to get a 10 kilometer, would be obviously one of the shinies, either Druddigon or Larvesta. 7 kilometers are pretty cool as well, as you probably see already there. It is Alolan Meowth, Alolan Grimer. This is cool. Alolan Corsola, which can be shiny. It's a beautiful shiny. Highly recommend you go for that. And my monitor just turned off. But as a new shiny that's just came out, or it's going to come out, and it's really exciting. It's a really cool looking one. It's going to be also in a different way to get it, and I'll tell you how to get it in a second. However, it's in those, or There's a different way to get it in the 7 kilometers, but I'll show you. So those are Glaring Cool Whalefish, both the Basculins, which is 2 different ones. There's Red Stripe and White Stripe, and then Glaring Voltorb. Adventure Sink eggs are going to have Skarmory, Munchlax, which can be shiny, Riolu, which can be shiny, Tyrant, and Amora. Those are the best egg loot. If you are to hatch any eggs, 5 kilometer Adventure Sink, Munchlax, which can be shiny, super rare baby shiny, Riolu's insanely rare as well. That's insane. I would go for that if you can. 10 kilometer Adventure Sink has Esper, Turtonator, which is not that easy to get, a Jangmo, which hasn't come shiny yet. People say that it's going to be in a community day eventually. Very well could be. However, until then, try and grind for it. But don't grind too hard. Chargebuck and Frigivax. But Mateo's 7 kilometer eggs. There's 2 specific things that I would highly recommend you go for. Remember, you get Mateo's eggs once a day. If you have your egg incubators, or if you have your eggs empty and you complete a route, you can get a Mateo egg, 7 kilometer. Galarian Corsola. So I keep forgetting that. Galarian Corsola. This is your easiest method to hatch this because there's only 4 different Pokemon that are going to be in this loophole compared to the 6 in the normal gifts. There's going to be Galarian Corsola, again, new shiny. There is Pamchan, both of the fish, Basculins, Red Stripe and White Stripe, which I've heard the White Stripe is really, really rare shiny. It's only spawned once during like a Go Fest, but more than likely it's always in 7 kilometers, and it's mainly in Mateo 7 kilometers. So I highly recommend going for that. And Farfetch'd. Farfetch'd is kind of mid, but it's okay. Farfetch'd is kind of mid. However, here's what it is. However, there's one more thing I want to go over in specific, and it's leaks that we got about literally all the events. And it will go more deeper into a different videos coming up. However, I'll show you them real quick so you can see what's going to be talked about in tomorrow's video, day after. So, the 7th is going to be just my cup of tea. That's going to be probably for the cup of tea Pokemon spawning. Aspiring Dragons Research Day probably has something to do with obviously Dragon types. Maybe a Druddigon. Druddigon research would be sick. Gigantamax Lapras raids. That's crazy. There's also, again, we'll probably talk about that tomorrow's video. Young and Wise, no clue what that means. Necrozma Fusion Raid Day. That's disgusting. We'll talk about that another day. Holiday Part 1, Community Day. This Community Day, 21st to the 22nd. Always every single Community Day combined into 2 days. That's super exciting. Holiday Part 2, Charged Embers Hatch Day. Hatch Day is going to be crazy. I don't know what they're going to do for that. It's sick. And then they're going to do the New Year's event, which is always amazing. Usually if there's a Pokemon with a 2025 hat, it's going to be amazing. So that is the info I'm going to say today. More videos are going to come soon. God bless. Jesus loves y'all. Have a fantastic day.